Okay, so we want to rebuild our 4x4. This is the easiest method that I've found that works. So let's just jump straight on in. Now we're going to solve it, or we're going to rebuild it so it's in its solved state. So this is a completely beginner friendly method to rebuilding it. And what we want to do is we want to start with the white face. So grab all of our white corners. I would highly recommend laying them all out in like little organised piles. So over here I've got the corners, here we've got the centerpieces, here we've got the edge pieces, and here we've got the internals. So what we're going to do is lay all of the corners out like this, and we're just going to pop all of the edges where they belong. Now this is a magnetic cube, so it's a little bit easier. Hopefully yours is a magnetic cube as well. Otherwise it's going to be extra fiddly. So let's just go round. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's start a timer. Let's see if we can do it before the timer runs out. It's going to be a little bit hard because I want to make it... Oh, that's not even the right piece. I want to make it a very easy to follow beginner's guide, but I also want to test myself and see how quick we can do it. So, once we've got this built, we want to do the next layer. So, pop that bit on, that bit on, that bit, oops, and that bit. Okay, so now we have this. What we want to do is pull this apart, what we've just created, so it's in two halves. We want to grab our core, make sure all of these little white bits that slide around are all the way to the outside of the cube. And then we want to put it in and slot it together. There we go. So now what we've got is this. Now comes the sort of fiddly part. If we grab a centerpiece, let's start with green. What I'm going to do is just pop that in, and the one next to it. We're going to go around and we're going to do all of these centerpieces. So now orange. And the last one. In some cases, it might be a little bit easier just to pull one of the edge pieces out and do the edge piece last. So we did the two centerpieces and then pop the edge one in. It just depends whatever's easier. And then we've got this. So it's already starting to take shape. Then what we want to do is grab a small internal, a big internal, and a small internal. And all we're going to do is we're going to go round and pop all of these ones in. Okay, so once we've put all of them internals in, we should have this. Next, what we're going to do is put in the other edge pieces. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we're going to do the centerpieces again. So 1, 2. There we go. Then what we've got is the small internals. So these are going to go down into the space that we've just created with the centerpieces. Make sure you're putting them in the right way as well. So they go in with the, sort of this part here goes down. It's a little bit fiddly if you put it in the wrong way and you've got to then fish it back out again. Okay, so once we have this, what we want to do is get a big internal and pop that in. And then we want to get a small internal and pop that one in. Can be a little bit fiddly, this bit. There we go. So this is what we're after. Then once we've got that, we want to grab a corner and an edge and the other edge. There we go. And the last corner, or the last green corner, should I say. Okay, so once we've done that, we want to put in our centerpiece and then this edge. There we go. And we've got this. Then we're going to pop in our big internal and our small internal. Nice and gently. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do the same this side. So, hello centerpiece. Oh, that was the wrong one. Grab that edge piece. Pop in the big internal. And then a small internal. There we go. So we've now got this. Next, edge pieces both sides. For this, we want to put in the big internal and the little internal. Okay, there we go. So this is now what we've got. We want to pop in our 2 remaining yellow centers. Oops. Just like so. Then we're going to pop in our corner. Goes in really easy. If your cube is a little bit on the tight side, then you can always loosen it. Just be very careful when you do pop the corners in. Another method is to put the corners in and then you insert the big internal and the small internal in the centers. But for the purpose of this tutorial, it doesn't really matter which one you do, it just depends on the tightness of your cube and which cube you have. The edges slip in really easily. There we go. And then turn it over. And don't forget, we've got one more side. So, when we've got to this point, the easiest way, I think, is to take that layer off. And we're just going to start as we did the yellow face. So let's go round and insert our small internals. There we go. Then, if you remember, we do a big internal. And a small internal next to it. A little bit fiddly, this bit. There we go. We pick a corner. So we've started with the oranges, so let's do the oranges. pop the corner in and pop the corresponding edge piece in as well. And the same on this side. So we've got this. Do you remember what we do next? We add in the edge piece and the center. Oh. So be careful with these sort of raised parts of the centerpiece. Here we've actually got to put the actual center in first, the centerpiece in, and then we put the edge in, only because of the raised part. Then we do the big internal and a small internal. There we go. We'll do the same over here. Here it doesn't matter if you do the center or the edge first, so let's do the edge and the center. Then we do a big internal and a small internal. There we go. Now we're going to do the 2 edge pieces on the sides. Let's pop our corners in this time round. We did it slightly different last time, but we're going to pop our corners in. Then we're going to do our big internal, followed by our small internal. I don't think I've ever said the word internal so much. Then our corner, center, then that center, and our last 2 edges. And that took about 16 minutes. Just be careful, just do some very slow turns, making sure that everything is tensioned correctly, making sure it's all even. And you should be good to go. So that, guys, is how you rebuild a 4x4. I hope it has helped. If you have any questions or you need some more sort of one-to-one private help, then drop us a message. We're happy to assist any way we can. And yeah, thank you for watching. See you in the next one.